One, Anas was not a complainant. He was used as a witness. And in his the video that he did in respect of two accused persons, the third accused person was never arrested. He always remained at large till the end of the matter. But the video that he did was not even put in accepted in evidence by the court, because the court said that the judge said that if the state prosecutor was to put that video recording as part of the case, it will amount to cumulative evidence, and because of that, the judge blocked the recording. So all the work that Anas Arimia and Anas did and Tiger IPI did, the judge did not accept it as part of the evidence of the case. Then you turn around to accuse Anas Arimia of what? Obstructing justice. Was he the judge? Was he the one who blocked his own recording, his painstaking work from being added to the evidence on the basis that it will amount to cumulative evidence? Fetch the court docket. The member of parliament does not understand court processes. Unfortunately, those who are advising him to appear either to understand but mischievously misadvising him, or they don't understand court processes at all.
Okay, so it leaves more questions as to what exactly then happened to that case. But there are a number of issues that we'll need to go through with you. But this misplaced zeal that you say that Mr. Kennedy Japong has, to a large extent, there are those who say he is managing to chip away the aura and credibility that your client, Anas Arimiyao Anas, has. Does it worry you at all?
See, as for belief, people believe in anything. If I were to strip naked right now and walk down the street of Accra and say I formed a new religion, I'll get thousands of people following me. But that doesn't mean that what I'm doing is right. That doesn't mean that what I'm doing has foundation. If he is misplaced, if he is if he's being ill-advised and is going on maligning my client, we have already sued him before court. So he should bring his evidence to court and not sit on radio and be going on and on and on. And every day he has something else to say about my client. We're waiting for him in court. He should bring the evidence in court. Then I heard you read in the petition to the General Legal Counsel that he has evidence in his custody that if they require him, he will bring. Why doesn't he have the evidence which he claims to be in his custody? All I'm saying is that it is ill-advised, it is misplaced, it is information that he buys, and those who sell him the info have no motivation to sell him the truth. All they are looking for is the thousands of CDs he promises them, and they give him whatever he wants. So whether it is well-founded, whether it is total trash, whether it is absolute nonsense, they don't care. They sell it to him. Then he spews them out because he thinks he has the passion for it. And as I said, I admire his passion. But this time it is totally misplaced.
But by the way, what's the latest on that defamation case?
Exactly what he's going about doing on radio and on TV, because he has access to the media. He owns a TV station, he owns several radio stations. So every morning he just chooses one at random, goes to sit there, and then goes on and on and on. Even 2 days ago or so, my attention was drawn to him sitting on the radio saying Anas had killed some Chinese nationals. That's ludicrous statement.
We want details of that court case. When will the case be heard? Where are we as it stands now?
We have court processes. I mean, they entered conditional appearance 3 days ago, and we'll wait and see what they will do. Beyond that, it will go on. So, we will go to vacation in about 3 weeks' time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in about 3 weeks' time, and then we will resume again middle of September. So as to when exactly the case will be heard, I can't tell for now because of our inbuilt processes and procedures.
So whilst you are suing, you're also being sued, this time by the GFA spokesperson Ibrahim Sanidara for defamation. And he's demanding 20 million Ghana cedis as damages. Have you been served yet?
We've not been served yet, but we've seen it in the media. See, madam, it is to be expected. I'm even surprised more court suits have not come up as of now. In respect of the judges' scandal 3 years ago, we received not less than 30 lawsuits. By this time, we have received about 25. A few weeks after, we had received about 25 lawsuits. Now, I'm counting 3 lawsuits so far. So it is to be expected. I was expecting more students than this. When you are into investigative journalism and you unearth corruption on the scale on which a Tiger IPI does and Anas Arabi does, you should expect a certain.
So you're not moved. You're not moved at all. You're saying.
No, you should expect a certain reaction. The reaction is that people will sue.
Okay. Lawyer Kesia Jabing, we're grateful. We'll leave it here. That's lawyer for investigative journalist Anas Arimiyawa Anas. Now, away from that, Joy News Checks reviews that teachers dismissed and transferred by the Ghana Education Service for their various roles in the Adresuman Senior High School sex scandal are still at post. The teachers subjected female students to various forms of sexual abuse. In one incident, a teacher forced a female student to suck his manhood. We'll soon be hearing from one of the victims, but first, Love FM's Erastus Asari Donko has been on that beat and joins us on the line with the very latest. So, Erastus, tell us about this revelation that the teachers punished for their involvement in the scandal are still working.
Exactly. We have been able to confirm that, and the assistant headmistress told our news team this afternoon about myself and my colleagues that they did not interdict the teachers. They did not dismiss them. They've heard it in the media, just like we have heard it in the media. They are waiting for instructions from the authorities that be to what they should do to these teachers. In her own words, we did not interdict them. We are waiting for instructions from the Ghana Education Service or the ministry to tell us what to do to these teachers. And so, yes, I have confirmation that 3 of them are residents on campus, and they are still there. They are still going about their normal duties. They are waiting for official instructions from the authorities to be able to execute these instructions.
But have we been able to check with the GES, for instance? Have we heard from the regional GES? Because we are still checking with the national GES. We're yet to hear from them. But have you heard anything from the GES at the regional level as to why they are still at post?
No. Aside what we heard from the GES PRO through your interviews with them, we have not had any communication from the regional educational directorate. But we have been able to confirm that no official communication has come by way of letters indicating dismissal or transfers from any quarters. And so at this point, the affected teachers, those who are on transfer are the ones who are active at the moment on campus. They believe that they are still on duty because they've not received any letters. But as per the other 4 who have been dismissed, even before the announcement from the GES, they themselves have absented themselves, I'm told.
Okay.
Especially one of the teachers have, since the first committee sittings, absented themselves but moved from the school, and so they are nowhere to be seen. But those on transfer are still on campus.
Very well, Erastus. Thank you very much. Erastus has been on this beat from day one when the story broke. Now, he's also been interacting with one of the students, the exact student that was forced by his teacher to engage in oral sex with him. She opens up to Erastus Asari Donko, revealing how she suffered at the hands of both teachers and colleague students after sharing her story.
The teachers are very dangerous, and in my opinion, I think all of them were supposed to be withdrawn from their post as teachers. Because they're being transferred, they will think that their case wasn't that much serious. That is why they were transferred, and some were just withdrawn from their post as teachers. But all of them were supposed to face the same consequences because all of them committed serious crime. So
in the school, what did these teachers do?
In the school, some would force students and kiss them. Some would also take students in their cars to hotels and force them to have sex with them. And when a teacher proposed to a student and that student refuses, that teacher would always be caning that student severely. So all of them were supposed to be withdrawn from their post as teachers.
So it's not something that is limited to some teachers. It was a wide-blown something in the school. It's something that went on, actually.
Yeah, it was something that really had been going on for a long period of time.
So that's a victim there. But her father, Edward Mensah, has been also speaking, and he says that the dismissal and transfers of these teachers are not enough. He wants those teachers found culpable, to be prosecuted as well.
In fact, when I heard the transfer, I didn't like, because I know what the teachers do or did to the students. They will go to different schools and do the same thing. So if you said you have dismissed some teachers, the same thing they would supposed to do to the rest of those teachers who has been transferred to different schools. So instead of dismiss them, they have transferred them. They are going to do the same thing. So I didn't like the verdict. The government to do is to send them to court and sue them and compensate the children.
We have come far.
So you hear the father of one of the victims in the Edrisuman Senior High School sex scandal. You're still listening to Newsnight here on Joy 99.7 FM. It's a special World Cup edition. And as NPP prepares to elect new executives tomorrow, majority MPs are urging candidates to avoid acts that would dent the image of the party. We'll get to hear from them, as well as we'll get to go to the Ridge Church, where the family of the late Vice President Kwesi Amissah-Arthur have been announcing the date for his burial. We'll tell you when and also bring you live update of that memorial service that is currently underway. But it's time now for the latest from the world of business. And George Riafe is in the studios to give us just the latest. How are you doing, George?
I am not doing bad. I am managing by the grace of God. I will get you news on the new appointment of Managing Director for Barclays Bank. And GCB confirms that takeover of UT and Capital Bank indeed affected its profits for 2017. Let's now settle for the details. Now, Barclays Bank has appointed Abna Osepoku as the new managing director of the bank. She takes over from Patient Chan, who stepped down earlier this year to join Hollard Insurance. Her appointment, if approved by the Bank of Ghana, would result in her taking over the bank, that is from October 1. Now, before her appointment, she was head of coverage north for corporate investment banking for the bank. She has over 15 years in banking for Barclays Bank. Now, GCB has confirmed that the takeover of UT and Capital Bank indeed affected its profits for 2017. Now, the bank disclosed this at the annual general meeting in Accra today. Now, in terms of profit, it went down to reach 467 million Ghana cedis. That was in 2016. Now, moving in 2017, it hit 332 million Ghana cedis. Addressing shareholders, board chairman of the bank, Judata, explained how this exactly impacted that, and he's talking about the fact that they've put strategies in place to ensure that things turn around for them this year. And that's all for business on Newsnight.
That's George Riafe with the latest from the world of business. Now let's head to Kufredia, because it looks like all is underway, all is in place for the NPP's delegates conference. Of course, we'll be bringing you all the action here on Joy News, on Joy FM, and also on myjoyonline.com. But as they prepare to elect these new executives tomorrow, majority MPs are urgent candidates to avoid any acts that would dent the image of the party. They want the candidates to be decorous in their comments and campaigns in the final hours prior to the event. Chairman of the Youth and Sports Committee in Parliament, Alex Ejekum, says delegates have already made up their minds, and so the candidates should just relax.
We have come far in terms of such elections. To the delegates, I believe that those who are coming might have made up their minds already. And so going in, I don't think that any one of them is going to act like a steering wheel. It shouldn't be like these few hours that somebody is now going to stand there and say, oh, I have changed my mind. They've made up their mind already as to where they're going to vote and all. And then secondly, the contestants too must also know that by now the delegates have made up their mind already. And so they shouldn't try to throw into the air any kind of contestable views and allegations that will make it difficult for them to retract after the election. So I advise them, let us be civil in our dealings, and let's all know that winning and losing an election is not the end of the world. So at the end of it all, we can come together as family and present a united front.
So you heard the chairman of the Youth and Sports Committee in Parliament, also the Deputy Majority Whip in Parliament, Matthew Nyindam, says he's hopeful the party will emerge from the Congress more united. He's also been dismissing claims of vote buying. But let's head to the Congress grounds now. And my colleague, Eastern Regional Correspondent, my colleague Maxwell Kudeko, joins us live for the last minute loose ends that are being tightened. So, Maxwell, what is the mood in town or other events grounds as we prepare for tomorrow?
Well, it has been charging from afternoon to this time. Delegates are still coming in from far and near, and the campaign members of most of the aspirants are also hopping from one hostel to the other, trying to get in touch with delegates to tell their messages to them. At this moment, it is the last minute magic that people are doing. A couple of the delegates have reported they've come to the conference, where the whole event will take place, and they've also moved back. Some have moved back to their place of the place they're going to be lodged and all that. But what I can now is that the campaign are seriously ongoing. The campaign team members are lobbying candidates from one hotel to the other. This evening, we expect that there will be what they call the Aquaba Jam at the Kofodia Jackson Park to welcome all delegates in town.
Okay, Maxwell Kudeko there. I'm sure my colleagues Gifty and Pia, Daniel Dadzi, Parker Wilson, amongst others, will be part of that jam, I suppose. But of course, the election headquarters is still Joy 99.7 FM, and will bring you all the action from Koforidua tomorrow, Sunday, all weekend. You need to keep your dial here on Joy, and also Joy News on Multi TV, as well as myjoyonline.com. And just before we go, a memorial service for former Vice President Kwesi Arthur, who died last week, is currently underway at Red Church here in Accra. The 67-year-old collapsed at the Air Force gym in Accra during a workout. Efforts to resuscitate him proved futile, leading to his death. Now, he was born on April 29, 1951. The economist, academic, and politician was the 6th Vice President of Ghana under the Fourth Republic. He previously served as the governor of the Bank of Ghana from 2009 to 2012. My colleague Justice Bedu just returned from that memorial service at the Red Church and joins us in the studio. Justice, I'm told that the family has announced a date for burial. When is it?
So it's on the weekend of the 27th July here in Accra, and the announcement was done by the brother Jabesh Emisartha. And the Accra Church was actually filled to capacity. People from all walks of life, mainly the National Democratic Congress.
Well, looks like it was a very short and solemn ceremony. Justice Bedu will definitely bring us more in our subsequent bulletins. But now it's time for the Battle of the Beasts. Brazil, Belgium. Gary Al Smith is on standby, and when they are here, you know that you have to leave your dial right here. So what are we to expect?
Yes, the winner of this tie will face France. France, who have beaten Uruguay by 2-0 in the earlier kickoff. So this is what we'll be having from 6 p.m. But from now, though, we'll be having the build-up. I'm
sure it'll be Brazil all the way. I am MFR Power. Thanks for your time.